Good morning, everyone. I'm off to a little bit of a late start this morning, but hopefully more of you will join me because I'm starting just a little bit later. So I think I'm all organized for today's card. It's Casing Tuesday. It's the day when we copy a card out of one of the Stampin' Up! Catalogs and we give it a makeover, and I blog about it. We have a bunch of other people that blog it as well, and then we post over on our Facebook group, and you can join in too, which is really great. And if you are not a member of Casing Tuesday, I know a lot of you are, just go ahead and look in the description of my video, and you'll have the direct link where you can just go ahead and click on that and ask to join, and one of us will approve you. And then you can have a look and see what we're doing and see the cards that we're making over. Maybe that will give you some inspiration for making your cards. And then maybe, which would be even cooler, is if you would join us and share one of your cards that you've made based on the same card design, because that's kind of the fun in it. It's not randomly casing cards, it's casing cards or copying cards that we're copying too, so that we can see, oh, she did it this way, or oh, that was a different color scheme. So that's the cool part in it, because it's like interactive and we can share. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about today was I started a great talking about the starter kit on Friday. I did a Facebook Live on Friday, and my cable cut out halfway through my video, and I went to go look out on the street, and of course there was a cable car out on the street, and they had been threatening to they were rewiring our street. And earlier in the week I had asked them, and they said, oh yeah, you'll probably be out for an hour. And I thought it was going to be that day, but no, it was the day that I'm doing my Facebook Live. And so it cut out right in the middle of my Facebook Live. So I just wanted to like really briefly mention the starter kit because it's coming up to the end of celebration. And if you have a big, long wish list of Stampin' Up! Supplies, the starter kit is like a great deal. It's $99, and you get $125 worth of product in that kit. So you can choose anything you want. And then Stampin' Up! During celebration, you get two stamp sets of your choice to add to that. So it's $125 worth of product, your choice, plus 2 stamp sets that are any price. The kit ships for free, so all you pay is $99 plus tax, and then you are guaranteed to have a discount on your Stampin' Up! Purchases for at least 4 months. And then if you spend enough during those 4 months, then your benefit to get the 20% discount continues on. So it's a really great deal, and I got it 12 years ago during celebration, and that's why I want to mention it now, because it is a fabulous deal. I started off getting it as a discount. I was a demonstrator for many, many years before we moved to Boston, and I really turned it into a business. But it's a really great way to get your supplies as a hobbyist without with paying a little bit less. So I encourage anyone, even if you're like, oh, I don't want to do classes, I don't want to go online like Brenda, you don't have to. Most of my team members, or my group, we're called the Bee Stampers, we are all, a lot of us are just hobbyists on that group, and they just spend the money, their minimum on themselves, and they get a discount, and we have a great group with team meetings and challenges and things like that. So if you have any questions about that, or you're interested in it, you're not sure, you are welcome to email me, and I will be happy to answer your questions, or you can post them on this group right now if you want to, and I'll be happy to answer them as well. But that's just an aside, and I I think sometimes, you know, people really feel like, oh, well, I can't do that because it's for people who are doing classes, but it's not just for those people. It's for people who like to have a crafting hobby and they don't want to spend full price on things. It's great if you can get it for a 20% discount. So the other thing that's happening in Boston, I mean, some of you may have heard, we're about to get hit by our 4th nor'easter this month. Or my husband this morning kept calling it northeaster, and I kept saying nor'easter, nor'easter, and now I'm calling it northeaster. It's a nor'easter, nor'easter. I guess I'll need to work on my pronunciation and my Boston accent. But yeah, tomorrow around midday, apparently we're going to get more snow. And today, midday, is the start of spring. So it's kind of like a big joke on Boston and the Northeast, I guess, that we're going to get more snow. So I don't know how I feel about that. I just can't wait for spring to get here. I can't imagine it will possibly stick around for too long. Although the temperatures this week have been like so cold, below freezing. I can't wait for spring. I'm sure some of you are already experiencing spring. So I hope it's warmer wherever you are and you're not going to get hit by this nor'easter. Not looking forward to it at all. But anyway, I'm totally off topic today, aren't I? So let me turn around the camera and let me show you the card that we're casing. I'll show you my card. And I decided to shake things up this morning. I'm actually going to do a slightly different card than the one that I showed you on my blog. So let me do the little switch around. Oh, let me look and see if there's any comments first, if there's anything. Oh, someone says it's Catherine. It's sunny in New Mexico. Of course, you lucky duck. And someone's in California. I hope you're having nice weather. Oh, we've got people from all over the place. Okay. All right. Oh, and Karen says she's supposed to get hit here in New Jersey as well. Yeah, yikes. I hope you don't get too much. Okay. And Maryland is supposed to get hit too. Yeah. Northeast. Well, I don't know where the north starts in the U.S., but the whole eastern corridor, I guess we're going to get hit. So let's... Okay, there's my view this morning. Pretty beautiful blue skies, yay, but not so much longer. Okay, I'm turning around my camera here. Okay, so this is the card we're copying or casing or giving a makeover. It's got a nice circular focal point with a piece that's coming across here that you can put a greeting on. I think this would be a really great starter card for people to case. It's like an easy one to case. Because, you know, you just need, you know, your card, you need some paper in the background, you've got whatever you want as a focal point, and find a little greeting to put on this little piece that comes across. This is a great layout for a beginner. I love it. So this, if you're starting out, this is the card to start off with. It's a great card to case. So I did this with it. I took the little knight and the "You Are One of a Kind" stamp, and I created this little card. This is with the Magical Day. There's a bundle, there's framelits as well, but I'm not using them today. This is the Magical Day stamp set, and this is the beautiful paper, the Myths and Magic paper. It's got so many great patterns to use. Let me see if I can get that into view. But it's a specialty paper. So like the dragon right here, it's got sparklies on it. So one side has like a sparkly or glossy design on it. These have like kind of a sparkles on the robes and the robes of the little wizards. And the unicorns are sparkly. And here's the paper I use, the back side. And then there's the bubble paper, and then there's a floral print. I'm kind of off camera. But anyway, this is great, beautiful paper that matches that bundle. And aren't these little images cute? Like the dragon and the unicorn. They're all really adorable. I don't know if some of you read my blog post this morning, but when I was stamping this card, I just thought of my husband because he is one of a kind. He's very, very special to me, and I'm going to give him this card at some point because I think this would make a great Father's Day card. or a birthday card. You know, it's hard to make guy cards sometimes. So, you know, this I think is a great little guy card for, you know, your dad, your husband, you know, even your kids, the boys in your life. You know, I think this is a great card that you can make it into a masculine card. But today I thought we'd shake things up a little bit, and I thought I would do the mermaid, just to be a little bit different, because you already see this card, so why not see how it looks in the mermaid card? And I kind of just like laid out my paper this morning to see if it would look okay, and I think it will. So I need, to start off with, you'll need a piece of scrap cardstock, and I've got my little mermaid on a block, and I've got my Momenta Tuxedo Black ink pad. Ink this up. I'm going to stamp it first and then cut it out, because that way I can make sure I get it centered exactly where I want it. And I'll grab my Big Shot here. I'm going to bring it across. I like to use my magnetic platform, so it's already on here. I've got a cutting plate on here. I'm going to use the Stitched Shapes Framelits. Slow down so I can pronounce that correctly. I like these because they've got the little stitching on them. I'm going to use the third, or the second largest of the circle ones. And so I can just kind of take this and see, how will that look around there? That looks pretty good. Put a little bit of, I want to have room down here to put my embellishment down on this bottom corner. So I might put more white space just a little bit down towards the bottom. So I have a little more space down there to put my little embellishment. And then let me run this through. And Janine was saying she thinks that this is one of the cutest sets Stampin' Up! Has offered since I've been stamping. You know, it is. I think there's a lot of cute sets. I like animal sets as well. Like, I love the pandas, that from Celebration. There are a lot of cute sets, but there was a stamp set really old from Stampin' Up! That had like you know, dragons and stuff as well, and I think this set is a little cuter than that. So you're right, it is a really cute set, and if it retires, I'm sure there's going to be a mad scrabble for people to get this set after the fact. So I don't know if it's retiring or not. I don't know if it's going to make it over into the annual catalog. We'll find that out at the beginning of April. But if you're interested in this bundle, in this set, and you're like, I'll get it later, I would not wait on this one, because if it retires, I think it will like sell out, and then people are going to be wanting this on the secondary market, and it will be hard to find. So, okay, I've got my little mermaid, and I'm going to use some markers to color her. And I'm going to start off with my Old Olive Light. And I'm just going to come through and start with the tail. You may have seen me color her on Monday on my video. I probably should use the fine point for the skinny part, but I'm too impatient on the camera. I'm like, let me just use my big brush tip and hope for the best. They say sometimes it's not always the best thing to always be right in the lines either. So how's that? You don't have to worry about coloring in the lines. Okay, so there's my Old Olive. Then I'm going to use my Ivory for the skin. You can use whatever color you want, though. You don't have to use the ivory. Do it to suit what you like. And then I'm going to come in and do her face with the brush tip, because there's more space. With the bullet tip for her arms, because they're so skinny. And then come in like that. And then I'm going to come in with my, this is my dark Pool Party. And come in and just do her hair. Blue hair. Yeah, I know. Mermaids should have blue hair, don't you think, though? or maybe pink hair. I don't know. I think they should just have different colored hair than most people do, because like they're of the sea, so they should have different colored hair. I don't know what you think about that, but and then I'm going to use my bullet tip of my light Bermuda Bay, and I'm going to add some highlights to her hair just to make it have a little bit of contrast. Oh, and one other thing you can do on the tail, you can take the bullet point and hit some of the little scales randomly. Okay, and just, that will give it just a little bit of a different look. And then you can hit a few times on her tail, just like that. Okay. All right, that is the Little Mermaid. So now let's get the pieces. Oh, I have to do one more thing. For the piece that goes across, you'll need a piece, whatever color cardstock you want. I'm going to use Pear Pizzazz for her. And this piece is 5.5 inches by 1 inch. And I already put my punch away. Let me grab it. I was in the mood to put everything away this morning, and I put too much away, I guess. So I'm going to use my banner triple punch, slide it in the inch slot, and give it a punch. I thought the banner end would look nice rather than just the plain straight end, but the original card had a straight end, but I just felt like it needed a little more. So then you're going to take, I'm going to emboss this to give it a little shimmer, and I'm going to take my embossing buddy, just run it over the cardstock so that the stray flecks of embossing powder don't stick. I'm going to grab, I put my Versamark pad away. Or did I? Nope, it's right here. It's hiding behind my black stand. It blended in. Okay, so I need the stamp, the one-of-a-kind stamp. And I'm going to ink that up in the Versamark and stamp it pretty close to the banner end. And then, that out of the way, I always dump my embossing powder into little containers. This is a Ziploc container. And that way I don't have to work with a piece of computer paper to funnel the embossing powder back into the little tiny container it comes in. So this way I can just kind of sprinkle over top. You know, it makes my life a lot easier. And it makes me like not think, oh, I don't want to emboss because that's too much of a hassle. And this is just a leftover baby spoon from when my son, who's no longer a baby, was a baby. And I just kept it around for embossing powder because I thought it's just the perfect size. I'm going to a little flick over my garbage can just to remove any stray embossing powder. And then I've got my heat tool. I've got it all the way up to number 2 because I'll be embossing on the hottest setting. I'll let it run for a few seconds before I attempt to emboss it to get it to heat up a little bit. And then I'm just going to start on one end. Be careful, don't emboss yourself because you could hurt yourself. Once it starts turning, move it. You can see how it's maybe turning color a bit. You want to hold it up to the light. Okay, I can see part of my banner is not quite done yet. My D. Quite done yet. End of banner. Okay, I think I got it all embossed. So now it kind of, you know, when it's like that, you can't really see it, but when it hits the light, you can really see how nice it looks. Okay, so then you're going to need a card base, and I'm going to use Bermuda Bay. This one's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4 and folded in half. And you're going to need a piece of that, any of the papers. And of course, I thought the bubble paper would be perfect for my Under the Sea card. This one I cut in kind of an odd, like not like a usual nice at the 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch. So it's cut a little bit smaller than that. If you can't deal with 1/8 of an inch, then do it a little bigger or a little smaller. But I did 4 7/8 by 3 5/8. That might not be happy in some people's minds, but to me, just as long as it's on an 1/8 of an inch, it's like pretty easy. I like to design. So the more you practice working with your inches and all the little increments, the better you get. And it's good for the brain. It's good for the brain to have to deal with those measurements and stuff. It keeps you active. I'm using Tombow to glue this. You know, that would look really, really bright, but that's not the side we're going to be using. That's kind of scared me for a moment. I'm like, what? Wait a minute. Red on my blue and green card? No way. So I'm going to center this because I cut it so that it would have like the perfect size frame all the way around. And ooh, I like the feel of these little bubbles. They're like little glossy, sparkly bubbles. Then I'm going to add this little banner piece right in the center. Tombow, I think, will be the best adhesive for that. Let's hope it sticks on those little bubbles. If not, my second choice for adhesive for this would be tear and tape. That would be my second choice. But since I have my Tombow out, and I want this, on the original card, this little piece stuck out a little bit towards this way a little bit, but I decided it was going to stick out a little bit towards the other way. I'm just such a rebel, aren't I? So then this one's going to come right along here. So let me put Tombow on this piece. Let's see. Looks pretty good. You know what? I really like this card. Sometimes when I change things up, I'm not always sure how it's going to turn out because I hadn't tested it out with a colored mermaid yet. But doesn't that look great with, so I used the Old Olive Light because we don't have a Pear Pizzazz. But when I held up the Old Olive to this paper, I thought the Pear Pizzazz looked just a little bit better because it was a little lighter. So, you know, I thought that looked kind of cool. So then I have this like silver sequin trim down here, which I think would look good down here too. But then, see, like, look. See, I think that would look cool. But then I also grabbed a tassel, okay? And I thought that also looked cool. But then I was wondering if this ring was a little bit too much. So then I thought, well, I've gotten rid of the ring once before. And so I want to show you how I did that. So I have these needle nose pliers. And so I kind of use the cutting. There's a little place for me to cut. So, oh, see, I just used it to cut that little ring. Because I wanted to see how it would look. If you like the little ring, you don't have to cut it off. I'm just such a rebel. So rebel today. So I've got this little tassel down here. I think it looks a little better without the ring because I think the ring is like too much, but I think maybe that looks good. What do you think? Do you like it with the tassel or do you like it with the sequin trim? What do you think? I don't know. Anyone have an opinion? Let me get my camera. My camera's kind of falling out of its holder. So what do you think? Do you like the sequin trim or do you like the tassel? I don't know. I kind of like the tassel. I think the tassel kind of makes it look like seaweed. Yeah. Catherine says the tassel. She was the first one to respond. So I'm going to go with the tassel. So I'm going to use probably maybe 2 mini glue dots. Grab, sometimes it's easier to get them off with a paper piercing tool. So let me grab this first one off the roll. I think this is going to call for 2. If I can get 2 on there, I will be happy. because I'll feel like it's a little bit more secure, right? With the two on there. Oh, I hope I'm not off camera. And I hope they're not sticking to me. So let me put this down here like that. There. It's kind of like a little bit of seaweed. There. I like that. So there are the two cards. You know, they're a little bit different. I think you could do, theoretically, you could do this card with any of the big images on this set. If I was using the little wizard, I would probably, like, I would change up the paper for each one. So if I was doing the wizard, I would use this like Starry Night paper maybe, because I think that would look cool. I don't know what I would use for the dragon. I don't know, you could use the Starry Night paper or the blue background paper. I don't know, but I think it would be cool. Like, you could experiment with the different papers and, you know, with the different images, but the layout works really well for either one of these. The dragon, you might need to go up a size in the circle if he didn't fit on quite properly. So yeah, I think that turned out pretty well. I love the mermaid with the blue hair. Just makes me happy. Okay, I'm going to just scroll here real quick and see if there were any questions while I was blabbing. It's always hard to... Someone's here from Texas. Texas probably has beautiful weather. I think maybe I should do Facebook Lives from the southern states during winter. I'll come visit all my stamping friends down south. And then they can come visit me in the summer when it's way too hot. How's that sound? Oh, okay, so Janine has a good tip. She says she uses a wooden clothespin to hold the paper when she's embossing to save her fingers. That's a good idea. I think this time I was okay because I had like a really long strip of paper, and because the embossing was on one end. You can also use locking tweezers, which I keep in my craft room for tying ribbon. So yeah, that's a great tip. And the wooden clothespin is even better because it's not going to, the metal could conduct the heat up the metal. So okay, I think I answered all of your questions. Okay, so Connie asked, do you think there will be tassels in the new catalog? I don't know. I don't know. Like, sometimes I think, I don't know if these embellishments will be in the new catalog. I don't know if we'll get new ones. The new catalog, we'll know really soon though. If you're a demonstrator, if you get the starter kit, or if you are currently a demonstrator, we will be able to see the catalog starting, I believe it's April 9th. That we're going to be able to see the catalog. I'm going to on stage, so I'll see it on April 7th. That's really soon, isn't it? So we'll see the catalog then, and then the retirement list will post on April 9th. The catalog will only be able to be viewed if you're a demonstrator, or if you get the starter kit now, you will also have access to that. And we'll have a pre-order for demonstrators starting in May. Customers won't be able to order from the new catalog until June. But yeah, I don't know if there'll be tassels. If you're not a demonstrator, then if you want to private message me, I can have a sneak peek, and I can't show you anything in the catalog, but I could probably tell you if there were tassels or not. So, okay. I think that is it for questions. Let me turn myself back around. So it's 10:35. Oops. I'm having issues this morning. Bring my chair back in. Okay, there's my view. Let me switch myself around. Okay. Well, I hope you guys will come and check out all the cards that we made using the card in the catalog today on page 6 of the Occasions catalog. And I hope you will join in and case a card with us this week, because it is fun to see all those designs. And then it's fun to share your design too. What could you do with this layout? I think it has a lot of possibilities. I think a lot of stamps will fit nicely in that circle. If you don't have circles, use a square, use a rectangle, kind of do, you know, the same layout, or, you know, use the card as a starting point. And you don't have to follow the design exactly. Sometimes we kind of go off track a little bit with the original design. So you see what you can do with that. And we're a great group of ladies, and I don't know if we've had any gentlemen on there yet, but we're all welcoming. So I hope you will join us. And we are very kind, and we give nice comments. That's what the group is about. It's about encouraging other people to stamp, whether you're a demonstrator or a customer or just love stamping. So we would love to see you on there. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I will be back here next Tuesday at 10 a.m. To stamp my next card. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.